of time when people will be getting together with their families and friends. For some, it's a highly religious weekend, but I hope that you'll come back refreshed and happy next week to get into what we're getting close to sort of the end. This week we're going to be talking about two parts of place. Place is really distribution, get the whole point of getting our product to our consumers. It does marketing no good at all. It does no business any good if they have a fabulous product and a huge marketing campaign that gets the word out and then can't get the product to the customer when they want it. If you've ever seen a coupon for a product or seen a sale for something and gone specifically to get it only to find the store doesn't have it, you understand the frustration customers sometimes find. But place and distribution has a whole lot more than that. Primarily channels of distribution, those means we set up to get our product from various points to the final consumer, are set up to overcome some discrepancies. There are four main types that we talk about in your book. First, discrepancy of quantity. We may have too much of something or too little of something. For instance, if you lived on a farm and had cows that each were making roughly 5 gallons of milk a week, you know no family can drink that much milk. So you've got to establish some kind of channel of distribution to get that milk from your farm to the people who have no cows at all. Another is discrepancy of assortment. If you are having pancakes, you need a wide assortment of things before you can enjoy that breakfast of pancakes. You need milk and eggs and flour. You need syrup. You also need plates and forks, pans to cook them in, butter if you like that, fruit if you like that. So you've got to pull everything together, which is really difficult to do unless there are channels of distribution, people who bring all those things generally to your grocery store so you can enjoy them. Next is temporal discrepancy. If you decided to have a Christmas tree lot, it would be really important that you get set up for your Christmas trees to be delivered well before Christmas, because if they do not arrive on your Christmas tree lot until Christmas Eve, you might as well not even have any at all. If they arrive afterwards, you're really in trouble. And if you have a Christmas tree farm where people come to your farm and cut them, the Christmas trees you're selling this year are going to have to be planted years and years before, 4 to 5 years at least, to get to be big enough to sell for your Christmas tree. So you have to be thinking in terms of time. Finally, there's spatial discrepancy. Every bag of Skittles in the world is made here in Waco, Texas. But without channels of distribution, our community would be flooded with Skittles, while people in other parts of the world who wanted them couldn't have them. So those four channels, those four discrepancies that don't work together unless we have some kind of channels of distribution. Another situation is to make contact efficiency. For instance, if you wanted a television set without channels of distribution, like Best Buy, you would have to go to a different store to look at each one. You might even have to, without channels of distribution, you might even have to go all the way to Japan to look at Sony televisions, and to Korea to look for LGs. But channels of distribution bring all of those things together in one place where you can look at them. The other part of our discussion this week is going to be on retailing. Retailing is one part of distribution. It's also part of sales. Most of us are familiar with retailing, that part that one person buys it and sells it to the ultimate consumer. In retailing, especially in stores, we have not only the 4 P's, product, place, price, and promotion, but we also have 2 more, personnel and presentation. Those 2 make up the personality of the store, and depending on what the store sells and the price of the things in the store, each store is going to have a different personality. I'm asking you in some of your discussions this week to talk about Richland Mall. Most of us in this area are familiar with Richland Mall. It was built in 1980, and at the time it was very high fashion. In fact, it was called Richland Fashion Mall. Over the years, Our community has changed, fashion has changed, and Richland Mall has tried to change in some respects, but it really hasn't made as many transitions as it could. Still, the personality of the stores in some of the malls are different. For instance, Spencer's, Victoria's Secret, and Dillard's are all in Richland Mall, but they're all very, very different in presentation, merchandise, and personnel. For instance, the people in Dillard's is one of the more expensive stores in the mall, has higher line of clothing, and it's also one of the ones that's an anchor. You would naturally expect for a higher end store for the presentation, the atmosphere in the store to be different. Instead of the loud, clangy, almost heavy metal music that goes on in Spencer's, a quieter music, calm, soothing colors, and personnel who are dressed in a more dignified, business-like manner, and very often a little older. All of that goes together to create the atmosphere of an upper scale store. Spencer's, on the other hand, is loud, raunchy, dark colors, young, hip people, because that fits with the nature of the store. It would be ridiculous for us to go into Dillard's and to see the merchandise that's distributed in Spencer's, for instance. So I've asked you all to talk a little bit about Richland Mall and to talk about how it might be changed. We're going to play a lot of Let's Pretend. We're going to pretend that somebody has bought Richland Mall. It's at an excellent location in this community, easy to get to from almost every part of the community and from outlying communities. They've realized that. They've also realized there's a lot of room around Richland Mall. Where Penny's is used to have a garage and a service center, and so there's a huge amount of enclosed space that's vacant, plus a lot of parking available. Where Ellen Samuels Travel Agency is on the hill used to be a movie theater. There is a lot of empty space. I understand that the mall is tall enough and sturdy enough that we could actually go up. And we're going to pretend that money is absolutely no object. We can do anything we want to. So we might look at, do we want to refocus to a different target market and make it more of a destination mall, perhaps for younger people and young families? You might want to look at one of the most popular malls in the world, which is Mall of America in Minnesota. I'll put a link to that. This mall is in Minnesota, where it is covered with snow about 6 months of the year. It's very cold. It's a huge metropolitan area, and so they have some differences, but they have some ideas that we might use in changing the nature of Richland Mall. If we made it the right mix of stores and personality and atmosphere and maybe some destination fun things, it could conceivably become a destination mall for even Temple and Killeen people to come to. So that's what we're going to be doing. I hope you have a good Easter holiday weekend and have plenty of time with your family. And I'll look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you.